I want to yield to Louis Gohmert of Texas, who has been with us working very hard on this bill as well.
Well, and we really appreciate having an appropriator like Jack. There were some folks that thought he should have been the chair, but he sure liked the way he thinks. We wanted to do what the American people wanted us to do, and that is strip out the funding for ObamaCare. Steve King had a method that would rescind would rescind all current appropriations at the current time. And Denny Rehberg had an amendment that passed. But this will do what also should be done. They could all be done at the same time, actually, but this is a brilliant idea that Jack had. And that simply is to do what the law does in most states. As a former judge and chief justice, we've dealt with this issue at times. Somebody may want to post-date checks to after their death. Well, the majority of the Democrats died as the majority. But it turns out they had post-dated $105 billion in checks. This bill essentially says no post-dated checks. We have to go through regular order, and you're going to have to get back in the majority to fund this monstrosity, because we're taking all the appropriations that were done with post-dated checks, stopping them. They're void, they're null, they're of no value, and if it's going to be worth anything in the future, you're going to have somebody with proper authority to sign those checks who is in the majority down the road. We don't see that happening. So I'm delighted to be co-sponsoring this, and I think it's a great idea. And really, when you get down to it, whether it's the majority Democrats in the Senate or majority Republicans in the House, how could you argue with just going by the regular rules where you don't post-date checks that come up as time bombs over and over after the majority is over? I'm sure the Democrats who hope to be in the majority someday in the House should be willing to agree with us on this. They don't want us post-dating checks that they have to live with if and when they ever get back in the majority, which they will if we don't do this. But also the Senate Democrats, they ought to understand majorities change, and they don't want to have to deal with post-dated checks that Republicans left them down the road. So I think it's a great approach, and if the Senate Democrats will be fair and quit trying to conspire as how to paint those who want to do what 68% of the American public want to do as extreme, then I think we could get an agreement done here. This could work. This needs to be done as part of the continuing resolution, but this could work as a freestanding bill if everybody will just come together and agree on it. And it could be a real tool for bringing parties together. So I also appreciate the assistance the Heritage Foundation has provided through Ernie Istook.